This week on Addicted to the Outdoors.
So this week on Addicted to the Outdoors, we are headed back to Texas. All right, ready to go shoot some deer.
Over the years, the kids have developed a healthy sibling rivalry.
And I really wanted to beat my brother and sister.
You might be able to take the crown from the twins. 143 and 5/8.
Better not be better than me and my sisters.
I could see Gunner's eyes light up.
It was kind of unexpected to see our hitless buck that morning.
It's gotta be him. Yeah, he's looking. That was really the plan, figure out some days we could slide out here in Florida and try and get him his buck down.
I'm getting anxious because I want to get something down. He finally stopped between two trees.
Born and raised by a hunting family in the swamps of Florida and shooting a bow by 8 years old, John Brunson took to hunting early. Gina grew up fishing with her father, but it was weekend hunting trips with John that put big game blood under her fingernails for the first time. Even now, with raising 6 kids and running 3 companies, John and Gina are still a fistful of dirt couple that take life by the antlers. Sound familiar? If so, pull up a stump with the Brunsons, because they are addicted to the outdoors.
Man, what a buck.
So this week on Addicted to the Outdoors, we are headed back to Texas. This is a new outfitter that we've never hunted with before, but this was a hunt I was going to take Gunner on. Now, for all of you that follow Addicted, you know there's a big sibling rivalry between the kids on who's going to shoot the biggest buck. And right now, the crown is actually being shared by the twins, Tuff and Raven. They have both got the biggest buck that actually tied and measured the exact same, if you can believe that or not.
What's her identical? 143. Identical. It's exact same score. Oh my God. Right? Jesus. Your twin sister. 43 and 5/8. Y'all exactly the same.
Well, I guess we are twins for that reason.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we thought we thought that was kind of cool.
I've been to Texas before. Big deer, really big deer, love him. But this time it's just my dad. I usually go on trips with the whole family, but this time it's just me and him, so I was really excited, which means all focus was on me.
Over the years, the kids have developed a healthy sibling rivalry, and right now they're all trying to land the biggest buck of the season. So we'll see if Gunner can take the crown this week in Texas.
Good. Gonna go to Texas, buddy? Yeah? I know you still have to sleep.
A little bit.
All right, well, we're off. Texas bound. See if you can take the crown for the biggest buck so far. We're gonna try.
Heading to this new Texas ranch with Gunner, the goal was for me and him to get out there, have some father-son time. And even though this was a new ranch that we had never hunted before, we had a lot of good Browning trail pics from the outfitter. So we knew Gunner definitely had a shot at beating his brother and sister. All right, ready to go shoot some deer.
We got some hot sticks, we got some big time.
We saw your deer this morning.
Uh-oh. Now which one was that? Is that the new one that showed up?
Yeah.
Was he a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a nice 10.
Got into camp, beautiful kind of old school Texas place, really pretty. That first night our plan was really just to kind of sit down, look at Browning trail cam pictures, try and figure out what buck we wanted to go after.
That's your hitless buck, man. he might be able to take the crown from the twins.
Possibly.
He'll definitely be your biggest buck though, so. But I think you might take your brother and sister.
And really just kind of relax and get ready for that next day's hunt. We went outside, we had some hot sticks with us, so we got a nice little fire going, and just kind of keep our fingers crossed that we could get out there that next day and shoot a big old buck. Well, that first morning, we knew the blind we were going to go to. It was a place they'd been seeing our #1 hit list buck that we had picked out. He had been there pretty regular every morning. As the morning progressed, we weren't real sure if we were going to see that big boy, and then all of a sudden we look out, and coming from our side, we can just see a big old buck stick his head out.
In that first morning hunt, it was kind of unexpected to see our hitless buck that morning. I was surprised. He kind of acted like something was up. He never gave me an opportunity at a good shot.
But he never got out there and fed, and he never got out there and kind of settled down. So I think that first morning he knew something was up. He was kind of onto our game. And even though he wanted to hang out in that area and chase does and stuff, he was smart enough to kind of stay out of sight of us and, you know, stay out of shooting range.
But man, I was hoping he would come back out.
So that first morning, you know, we hunted the first few hours, and of course, you know, that temperature spiked up like we knew it was, and everything kind of shut down. So day one, that first evening in the stand, we got back in the same blind. We were hoping to get a crack at that big buck.
Feels nice. Let's see if we can get it done, buddy. Time to shoot.
We saw some javelinas, not a lot of action. It was a little quieter, actually a lot quieter than that first morning. But then all of a sudden we looked down the road.
So we saw these animal things coming down. I asked the guy what they were, and he said they were Nilgai. I had no idea what they were, but I was very interested.
I could see Gunner's eyes light up, and I know he was wondering, what the heck is that coming down the road?
The guy told me if I wanted to shoot one, I could, so of course I'm gonna shoot something I'd never seen before.
Big one's on the left. There's 3. See a pretty good one, that front one. Is the front one? Yeah, front one's a big one.
As they were coming down, they never really stopped, and they just kept moving.
You know, I could tell Gunner, you know, was really digging this animal. It's a really cool animal that you're not normally going to see unless you go to a different country.
I just want to like get sideways. We need him to turn. We need him to turn. At least a little bit. He may need straight on right now. If he turns right behind the shoulder, smash. Which one? Big one's on the far right. It's on the, yeah, it's closest to far right. He's the one in the bushes, right? Is he a decent ball? That's a big one. Oh, here he goes. Sorry. All right, if he stops, I'm down. Can't hear that wind.
As soon as they actually turned sideways and I had a good shot, they just kept moving and I couldn't get a shot. After waiting so long and waiting and them coming down, I was so upset when they just walked off into the bushes.
Getting out of school nowadays is a lot tougher than it was when I was a kid. And it seems like no matter what we do, we can usually squeeze about 2 days out of school before, you know, it turns into a big problem. That second day actually was our last day, so we had one more day to get it done.
I really wanted to get something down. I didn't even care what at this point. So we ended up going in the morning, sitting in the blind, waiting for some whitetail. So we saw a ton of javelina, but we didn't really see any bucks.
And you know, that big buck was nowhere to be found. We just kind of figured he got a little bit boogered, and we headed out midday to look for Nilgai.
Just keep your eyes peeled, Gunner. We'll look around, look for big black blob, which is harder to spot than it sounds. I'm sure in all this.
We rode around looking for Nilgai, but we didn't spot much of that either.
It really came down to the last day and the last evening to try and get something done.
So now this is the last evening hunt. This is the last opportunity, down to the wire. I'm getting anxious because I want to get something down.
we just weren't seeing a lot of deer, and we definitely weren't seeing the mature bucks.
Well, after talking to John and Gunnar, it seems like the deer activity has been a little slow for them, but I'm crossing my fingers that they'll be able to make something happen before coming back home.
It was getting pretty dark out, so we knew we didn't have much time. And although I wanted to wait out and see if whitetail came in, I just didn't want to risk it. And since we knew there were a ton of javelina and I had never shot one before, I decided to try to get my very first javelina.
So I told him, hey, we got a little bit of legal light left. If you want to shoot a javelina, let's line up and let's smoke them.
Which one do you think? Get them on the gun. Look figure out which one to shoot. And they all look about the same size, really, minus the little babies. So Gunnar, basically just pick which one you think's the biggest. Right where? Okay, put it around his shoulder and squeeze. Just around his shoulder and squeeze. When you get him to the suppressor, you can hear that thump. He's definitely down. Holy cow. He's definitely down. Let's keep an eye on him. He's down. He's down. Hey, we killed something, right? We killed something. It's something happened. It was a long, hard ride, but we got it.
And I got my hands on my very first javelina, and I was just glad I wasn't going home empty-handed.
Yeah, your first little happy. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, let's check him out. He hammered him. Oh, he's been scrapping. Look at that.
Yeah, man, they got you work and stuff.
Good cutters. Good cutters.
Jeez.
Look at
Those
them.
things are sharp.
Yeah,
They sharpen
touch them.
themselves on each other.
Yeah, they'll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like pigs. Like, ooh, they sharpen them up. Sweet. Good job, buddy. Your first javelina?
Yeah, my first time.
Right, Adam. Got him his first javelina, buddy.
Something new.
Something new. That's right.
Very exciting.
Hey, sometimes it ain't always about shooting the big buck.
Something new, man.
You know, it was a fun trip. We got to spend a lot of kind of father-son time together. And all in all, it was a really, really good trip. You know, Joey's a great outfitter, had a great camp. Really cool place to hunt, and we're definitely going to go back.
We weren't able to get any whitetail in Texas, sadly.
Seems like the trip didn't 100% pan out, but Gunnar got his first javelina down, which I was super proud of.
You know, another cool thing about this Texas trip is we were in camp with a Gold Star kid, a really unique young man. He had made many trips to this camp to actually try to get a buck down. And you know, the one trip he actually makes while we're in camp, he finally gets his buck down. So it was pretty cool to be a part of that.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow. He's pretty wide.
That's a nice buck. We would have hammered him. What I tell you, we're in camp, we're good luck.
You know, I'll tell you, with us not getting a deer down, but seeing him finally getting his buck down after all those trips, it definitely made it worth it. So, you know, the ultimate plan was to come home and, you know, having a whitetail season run into February in parts of Florida, you know, I knew push come to shove, we could probably get him a crack at a nice Florida buck.
So I'd get another shot at a whitetail.
So when I finally got a little bit of room to breathe, I called my buddy Harold Ross up at Ross Hammock Ranch. He had told me about a big whitetail ranch he had picked up, fair chase, low fence. So we made plans to go up there and stay at Harold's place.
I'm ready to go. Go get me some
See
deer.
if we can get you a buck. All right, man. Time to go get you one. Thought I forgot, huh? Didn't get one down in Texas, I told you.
Yeah, I was just in school when you like.
Well, I told you
the
we.
other day. I mean, I know you said we were gonna do it.
Well, I told you we're either gonna get you one late season here in Florida, or we would figure out, you know, something about going back to Texas.
You know, we literally had 1 day, maybe 2 days to get it done. So I told him, you know, I told him straight up, hey, that first morning, put us where you think we can kill a nice Florida buck. At this point, it wasn't really about trying to kill a giant buck in Florida or kill a buck that was going to beat his brother and sister. You know, I just wanted to get Gunnar a good Florida buck. So that's really what I was hoping for that first day.
All right, bud. We're ready to rock and roll. See if we can get you a buck down late season.
You know, so we're sitting in the stand, the sun comes up, we're actually seeing a lot of deer, a lot of activity.
That first morning in the stand, we were looking everywhere, I mean everywhere, for a buck that would be a shooter. We saw tons of bucks coming in from our left, from our right. We just didn't see any shooters.
And again, it's funny how things work out because, you know, we're glassing all in front of us because that's where all the deer are moving.
My dad tapped my shoulder and told me to look behind me. So I grabbed my dad's husk malls and I looked over and we saw a good buck. Well, it looked like a good buck. We could only see its head, but it looked pretty good.
This buck back here might be a shooter. It's bedded down back here. Looks like a temperature deer. See what he's gonna do. He'll get up here in a little while.
So we were sitting in that blind waiting and waiting for that buck to get up, desperately hoping that he would be a shooter when he got up. When he finally stood up, I knew that was the buck I wanted to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. This way. There's a tree. Yep. Okay. Safety off.
Yep. When he started moving, I was waiting for a clear shot, but there's so many trees in the way and I wanted to make sure I had the shot before I took it.
I have a shot, but he's out. Hold on. Can I shoot? Okay. If he turns, I can get a shot.
He finally stopped between two trees, and I had the best shot I could have asked for.
Put another round in. Your pocket. I'm pretty sure he's down.
I know I hit him.
Yeah, he's down. Oh, what'd you think there, bud?
Oh my God.
Nice.
There was like the 2 times he was stopped, it was like either A, there was a tree right behind his shoulder, like his entire body from his head, it was like everything was exposed. Right. But then there was just a tree right where you want to shoot. And I'm like, oh. Or it was a hard jump for the camera to see him.
Right.
But
perfect. Smoked him, baby. Smoked him.
I was so relieved when I saw the buck go down, because I knew I'd finally got my buck for this season.
You know, for Florida, you know, a Florida deer, man, it was really a nice Florida buck. Way bigger than anything I've ever killed in Florida.
oh yeah, it comes around, that's cool.
Yeah, big old tall brow.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a little broke here. See 10 point.
Mm-hmm. He's a nice Florida buck.
He's a cool Florida.
He's Florida.
That's a cool Florida buck right there.
Oh man.
Nice Florida buck. Good
There we go.
Buddy. Good job, buddy.
Oh, he's cool.
Probably in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Should score a little bigger than your
My record.
really your biggest buck so far.
Yeah. What was my biggest?
130.
130.
It didn't beat his brothers and sisters, but you know, when you're here in Florida hunting and really trying to just shoot a Florida trophy, it's a little hard sometimes to beat a Texas buck. I think we were both just really happy that he got a nice Florida buck down. You know, this again was just one of those fun trips for me. You know, Gina and I are doing a lot more hunting with the kids. I've been doing a lot more trips where I'm taking the kids one-on-one on their own hunts.
Although the buck wasn't as big as my brothers or my sisters, it was still the biggest Florida buck I'd ever got.
Gunnar was able to eventually seal the deal and get himself a nice Florida buck down. And I'm a proud mom to get to watch my kids grow into full-fledged hunters. And I can't wait to see what the future holds.
You know, for us, Texas didn't pan out on the big buck, but he ends up shooting his first Javelina ever. You know, we call my buddy Harold, he picks up a new ranch, it works out, we run up there and, you know, one morning, first sit, you know, he shoots a great Florida buck. That's what it was really all about for me.
As far as taking the crown from my siblings goes, I always have next year.